was 10 years old, my parents divorced. And my father decided to send my younger brother and I to live at the house of an old aunt in a village in northern Colombia. This was a big shock for me. I used to live in Bogota, which is a city in the high part of the Andes, went to the French school of the town, of the city, and used to have a life in let's say, in uniform with a lot of structure, went to classes, went to after-school activities, back to house to do some homework. And suddenly I found myself in a completely different environment. I went to this village, which was a very wild environment, very hot. It was like 105 Fahrenheit degrees of temperatures most of the year. And my aunt was an incredible woman. She was a very generous woman, and she had gathered or kind of adopted lots of different kids, or several kids, and at some point I probably counted maybe 15 or 17 kids in the same house. And some of the kids went to school, and some, like my brother and I, we just didn't go. So you can imagine that there wasn't a lot of things to do. But there was something that really saved us, and this was soccer. We used to play soccer all the time. We play soccer during the day. We play soccer during the evening. Sometimes we play soccer when it was raining. We even used to play soccer in a creek or in a small and shallow river that passed close to the house. And you can imagine that the best position to have or role to have was to be the goalkeeper, because you could jump and splash in the water as you try to avoid the other team to score a goal. And I was very young at the time, and I missed my parents a lot. But I spent a lot of time, all the time, with those kids, and they became not only my teammates, but also my friends and even my family. And I somehow noticed that they were incredible kids, but they were kind of, there wasn't a lot of adults around, there wasn't a lot of orientation. And even those who were teenagers and late teenagers really didn't have much to do besides probably doing sports. Almost one year after this moment, my parents decided to make peace, and they gathered the family again. And suddenly I was back again in Bogota in my previous life. So I had to wear again shoes, put the uniform, went to cut my hair. At the time, I used to spend a lot of time when I cut my hair. And basically, I was very much behind at school. After 1 year of not speaking almost any French or doing any math or all of these. However, something that helped me a lot and gave me a lot of confidence was that I became one of the best soccer players in the school, and I knew a lot of tricks that the city kids didn't know. My mother, who was an incredibly good woman, I used to think of her as kind of Colombia's Mother Teresa. We used to spend a lot. We used to go to do some volunteer work. Went to even some orphan houses, play soccer with the kids, and I felt very connected with them. Right now, if you go to Colombia, most people will tell you seriously that the main risk when going there is wanting to stay in the country. However, when I was growing up, it was a very different country. It was a country which was not very sure of himself. There was a lot of violence. One of the main things was that there was a lot of kidnapping in the country. And many families, even middle-income families such as mine, were struggling. However, we were lucky enough to I finished my high school and went to university. I was able to catch up in school and went to study engineering. And after I graduated from engineering school, went to work as a manufacturing engineer, and then did investment banking. And then I had an incredible opportunity, which was to come to the US to do an MBA. And two incredible things happened to me at the moment. One was that I met my wife, and The other thing which was great was not that I took accounting courses or finance courses or courses on the theory of leadership. What was really incredible is that the university had, they call it volunteer program. And we used to do different projects during the 2 years. And at the end, we, with some friends, we went to Africa. We went to Zimbabwe. And we had the, I went to a small town in the northwestern part of the country. And when I arrived there, I saw the kids playing soccer, barefoot, with a shirt. I saw the heat. I even saw the river, and I saw my village. And it was incredible because I felt, it was, 20 years had happened, but I felt as if I was again in the village that I had known when I was 10 years old. And I realized that this African village, or in a way, my Colombian village, were the same village. And that this village was the world, and in a way that the world was the village. And I had an incredible time, several weeks. And then I had to go back. I had got a job offer to work with a consulting firm in New York and start again my life, let's say, with a uniform. And I traveled the world. It was a fascinating experience, but somehow the music or the sound of the village was with me, and it couldn't go away this time. And I was thinking a lot about what should be my place in the universe. And I had two very basic ideas, especially because I was thinking very much about young people and about young people's growth and how young women and young men, or young girls and young, let's say, boys, grow and they become adults. And there was a very basic realization for me. And this was that what young people really need is not necessarily a gift. What they need is that other people can trust them, can engage with them, can invest in them, can partner with them, not one day, but hopefully for the long run. So, and another thing that I realized was that we needed, that the world needed those young people even much or as much as those young people needed us. So at some point, I just made the decision to quit my job. It seemed in a way like an irrational decision because it was not very clear for me what to do. And I started on a new search. And eventually, I decided to do or found what I am doing right now, which a friend, his name is Miguel Palacios, we started Lumni. And Lumni basically is a company whose purpose is to invest in the future, in the human capital, in the education of kids who want to go to college, but not by providing them a scholarship or a loan, but by partnering with them, providing them with funds to pay for college or for living expenses, providing them with coaching, helping them get jobs, and also with a system where they pay back a small fraction of their income for a fixed period of time. So I have done this. I've been doing this for 10 years. It's been an incredible journey for me. I have been feeling, in a way, in the village. We have been working with young students in 4 Latin American countries: Chile, Colombia, Mexico, now Peru, and we're also doing work in the U.S. And right now, I feel deeply grateful that in a moment of my life at an early age, I had this enormous challenge, and I was able to experience firsthand how many people, how millions of kids feel when they are sometimes isolated or don't see a lot of opportunities. And I feel very hopeful that about our young people. I think that they are the most important resource that we have. And I believe that if young people are given the opportunity and society believes in them and invests in them, they will give back to our society and to our world much, much more than we have given to them. Thank you.